right, ladies, you know what to do. Let's turn the cameras on. 3 minutes of movement and dance. This is how we start. Oh, today was a long day for me. I need this. Woo! Let's do it. Hands up, hands up. Yes, Mom, I see you. Okay, Rue. Francesca. Woo! Yes, Laura. There's Tracy, Maria. Just move it. And shake it. Yeah, let it out. Woo! Turning our cameras on if we can. We can all share the space together. Let's do it. Moving the body. Coming into coherence with your body, your mind, body, spirit, heart. Yeah, there you are. Woo! There we go. Maybe jumping. Maybe skipping. If that feels good. Maybe twerking. If that feels good. Whatever you need, ladies, just get it. Hey, Sarah, Donnelly, Pam, yes, Jean, and Anastasia. Okay, Kant is back in the house, okay. Chelsea, Regina, yes, love it. Woo! Keep it moving. Taking nice deep breaths. Good, big inhales, big exhales. And if you're lazy, just shake your hands. If you're feeling lazy, just shake your hands. Or even just enjoy the energy. Think about it. Let your brain just enjoy all the movement. There we go. There we go. Maybe you're making shapes with your energy, tapping into the field here. What is your field? What is available here? Yes. Woo! Yes, just letting it move, moving out of the day. Any knots that might be here energetically, just let it go. Woo! Last go. There we are. Woo! Even when it feels hard, today it's harder for me to dance than the other days, but I'm doing it because I know what it does for me. Hey, there we go. Woo! Yes, Katie. Yes, Francesca. Beautiful, ladies. Taking a big breath. Woo! There you are. I see you, iPhone 85. Yeah. Okay, Natalie. Mwah. Woo. Getting in the body. Really feeling your senses, feeling your body. What is here? There we go. Woo. Wow, this song is longer than I remember it. Keep it going, keep it going. Holy moly, my booty class today is hurting so bad right now. My butt. Woo! All right. Coming back into the screen. Wait, the song's not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. All right. So good. Woo! All right. Slowly coming back to the screen. All right, y'all. Happy day 3 of the Harmonic Woman. So excited to have you all. Today is how to tap into your inner witch. So something about that pinged you and you were like, yeah, tell me more. So if you're on this call, that's because you know that there is something more that pings us. And I want us to start to trust the pings, trust the body, trust the signals. And the fact is, I'm going to sit down actually. Normally I stand, I feel like sitting today. Everybody's psychic. The definition of psychic, I'll read it to you right now. I have it right here. Individuals with heightened spiritual awareness or a deep intuitive connection to energy, people, and the universe. So basically everybody is capable of being a psychic. So I just want to name that off the top. Okay, there's no special person that knows how to do something better than someone else. However, there are people who are more in tune with themselves, and that takes trust, that takes belief, that takes practice. It takes sometimes a little bit of validation, which we're going to work on today together, okay? But you're all psychic. And yes, those inner feelings, those inner knowings, they are valid and they are true. So today we get to play with those. We get to, even if we're feeling nervous, like, oh my God, like, I've never done this before. Same with me at one point. And then I tried. And then I got a validation. I went, whoa, no way. And then I'm like, wait, and I leaned in more. I'm like, can I try again? And then I just practiced and practiced and practiced until I'm like, nope, I know my body very well. And now with practice, I know what my signals are. So when I do go to do a reading, I can tell, oh, this is showing up. I can feel this in my body. I know what that represents. And that's going to look different for all of you. Everyone's going to feel different shapes, colors, expressions of picking things up that aren't just in English or just not even just English language, just language. It's beyond language. And so sometimes when things flood through, it's hard to create a digestible explanation of what it is. Do y'all feel me on what I'm saying right now? 2 shakes if you know what I'm talking about, right? Those pings. So my prayer, my intention for this space is not just to tap into our inner psychic, but to truly learn how to trust your body. And this is for all the women on this call and for all the women who are going to be listening to this replay. This is for all of us. Okay? Today we're going to start off with, I think I might take us into a quick little meditation just to ground us in a little bit. And then we'll do some breakout groups as well today, so you guys will get to not only meet each other and share your hearts, you'll also get to do mini readings with each other in the second half of today. I have an amazing offer as well today, day 3, one more offer, so stay till the end so you can hear about that. And today I'm not going to forget to do this. I always forget to introduce myself until the very end of the workshop, so I'm doing it now. So for any of the ladies that have not met me yet and that are on this call today, and for those listening on the replay, my name is Michelle Argress, and I am just so honored and thrilled to be in this space with you. I work with women as a women's embodiment mentor. I specialize specifically in breathwork, trauma-informed breathwork. I work in facilities across Los Angeles, in the trauma centers, and I hold different spaces from retreats and online playgrounds, and get to travel to really showcase this beautiful medicine of breathwork, and of course psychic mediumship, which we're going to get into today. But breathwork has been one of the most transformational modalities I've ever experienced, and so my heart just wants to share it with as many people as possible because it allows you to see yourself. It allows you to tune the mind out and actually tap into the intelligence and the wisdom of your body, which is a beautiful practice for what we're doing today. So if, some people ask, oh, how do we get into our intuition? Well, breathwork is a really great start. So that's what I do, and I recently had the pleasure of spending time in Egypt, where that's like I need to set up a whole nother Zoom call just to talk about that in itself, but it was life-changing, and I got to experience coding in ways I didn't understand when it was happening. I think it took me after the Egypt trip to finally understand what was going down, and I'm still integrating it too. And I know a lot of ladies on this call have been on an Egypt trip. I know Chelsea, I think I saw you on here. I think you were on in February, and then we have Jean and I think Tracy on here as well. So we've got some Egypt coding in here, just so y'all know. And you don't have to go to Egypt to receive them. We are mirrors, right? The pyramids are mirrors, we are mirrors. So even having us on the call, all the information that we receive and gather, it gets transmuted into these spaces. So maybe some of those codings will come through today. But what do I want to take you guys through here? I want to start off with, how is everyone feeling? Put it in the chat. What's here? I want to know what is here right now. What is available to you in this moment today? Hi, Canch. I see you. I didn't say hi yet. Hi, Pam. Lexi. Yes, Lexi. What is here? Happy, reflective. Yeah, Chelsea. Excited, clear. Tingles. Yeah, I gotta love those tingles. Excited and happy. Exhausted, but happy to be here. Yeah. I'm tired too today, Rue. But we're doing the thing. Too excited to share all of this. Peaceful, grateful for the beautiful space. Thank you, Tracy. Calm and open, immense softness, friction, finally. Yeah, got it. Yeah, rejuvenated. Yeah. We're all showing up with different things, and all of it is perfect. You don't have to change anything, you don't have to fix anything. We get to be exactly where we are. We get to share our hearts in a space where we get to learn really cool shit together. I think that's kind of awesome. So ease and relaxed, grateful, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What is a psychic to you? What does that mean? When you think of tapping into your inner witch and your inner abilities, your inner psychic, what is that? Put that in the chat. And if anyone feels called to jump on, you can put the hand up and you can jump in here too. But what is the psychic? What is it? Yeah, everyone is. I know some people like to go, I'm a psychic, and then they brand it, and it's like, I'm a psychic, and they run with it, which is great. But I mean, they have learned how to have really good energetic hygiene, which we will talk about, and they've really learned how to trust the wisdom of their body. And the truth is, when we go to see a psychic, they're just reading our energy, so they're just telling us things we already know. But we love the validation, like it feels really good. Sometimes we just want to hear it come out of someone else's mouth, right? And that feels really yummy. Tuned into another dimension, intelligence. Yeah, Donnelly, yummy. That sounds so yummy to me. Inner knowledge. Yeah, just use it and strengthen it. Inner knowing. Yeah, senses beyond the five. Absolutely. And senses really help. We'll get into some clairs later too on like different senses when you are doing a reading. For me, I kind of love this though, my taste goes wild. I was doing one on Katie earlier and I was like, oh my God, strawberries. I'm like, so much so that I can even feel the little fuzz on the strawberry. Like I'm tasting, like I can feel the fuzz on my tongue and I feel the sweetness of the strawberry, and we were doing a little session together earlier. Or I have had plantain, tasting plantain so specifically. Or and a lot of these too come through in the mediumship readings that I've done, which I can talk a little bit about mediumship too, so psychic and mediumship, and I can tell you what the difference are between both. But yeah, so that's clairgustant, and then some of us are just, we have inner knowing, and we all function differently. And I'll also name off the top of this call, I have an auditory processing condition where I actually can't hear very well. So because of that, it enhances other senses. And when I say hearing, I mean the processing of hearing. And what happens is I feel more. So in order to communicate with you all, I really have to tune in some way, some form, in order to communicate, right? And so you'll notice when certain people, like if someone doesn't have eyesight, they really can hear really, really well. So certain senses start to really pick up for them. We have our, I can't read that word, proprioception and vestibular, and the inner sense that we never were educated on the school system. Yeah, Maria, we weren't taught this. It's kind of unfortunate because we get taught all these subjects, but we never get taught how to feel good, what to do when you have anxiety, right? How to trust your body. These are subjects that I certainly think should be in schools, and maybe that's something we can advocate for more, you know? So what I want to do with y'all right now, before we get into that, belief. If you don't believe, you will not see. If you don't believe you can be a psychic, you won't. You already said no, so therefore you blocked it. So it can't happen. So on this call, if you are someone who's like, I don't know, what if just for this call, you just go, I'm going to believe just for this call. Like, let me just open it up and just see what is possible for me. And then of course use your discernment, right? We're sovereign beings. We get to make choices. Certain things might land, certain things may not. You get to take and leave what really resonates for you. So believing is really important. Now, I want to make a big distinction before we get into everything too. What is the difference? And I just realized I forgot to do a meditation for you guys. We'll do it in a minute, but we're going to start here. What is the difference between a gut instinct, these get mixed up a lot, and intuition? And anyone who feels called to just jump in, you can. If you want to jump on camera, otherwise put it in the chat. What is the difference between a gut instinct and your intuition? Gut is more physical. Yeah. What else? Your gut instinct and your intuition. A feeling versus a knowing. Yes, Tracy. It's like you've kind of taken this workshop before or something. We did a psychic workshop when we were in Egypt on the Nile River while it was just going down. It was beautiful. A warning system. Yeah. Which one, Heather, is a warning system? Would you say that was gut instinct, or would you say that was intuition? Gut instinct is from the past. Intuition is from the divine. Yeah, gut is striking. Intuition is subtle. Gut feels like body is speaking to me, whereas intuition feels like spirit is speaking. Oh, these are really good. Yeah. Good instinct require mind, gut instinct, both from within. Beautiful. Yeah. So there are two very distinct differences when it comes to gut instinct and intuition. The first is there's a feeling, there's a physical sensation to a gut instinct, right? It's that feeling like, oh, I have a feeling something's going to go down. And so you have this little flutter in your belly. So there's an actual physical sensation of flutter happening in your belly that's signaling either danger or watch out. So you are experiencing physical sensation, and gut instinct is a present time decision based on your past, making an educated guess for the future, right? So if you've had something happen to you before, in the moment, it's like animals, they know to hunt, to hide, right? It's like, oh, survival. So there's a bit of a survival piece to gut instinct as well. Intuition, attached to nothing, but knows everything. It's that flood, it's that open channel, it's when you're in your inner knowing, and it's stuff that comes through that doesn't even make sense. You're like, your logical brain goes, no way, that can't even happen. And then it plays out and you're like, I knew it, damn it, right? Y'all been there before, right? Shit. I remember, can there be both at the same time? I would say, does anyone want to chime in on that? Can there be both at the same time? My instinctual guess is, yeah, maybe they could lead into one another, but if there is a physical sensation, then there's some form of, it's attached to something. That's the difference. So I don't think they can happen at the same time. That would be my answer, but you guys can argue me on that. And I'm sure if I put this up on YouTube, people are gonna go, and they'll come up with theirs, right? Why not? Yeah, if we are not listening. Yeah, Maria, I was so curious. Yeah, the physical overrides, definitely, Jean, and we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about what hijacks are open channel, right? We'll talk about that in a second too. So, to remember, intuition attached to nothing, pure presence. It's in the moment. It's not from the past, it's not about the future. It's like literal inner knowing, instantaneous. Gut instinct, something happened in the past, we have to make a quick decision for the future, right? One has a sensation, one has no sensation. It's just an inner knowing. And y'all might feel that in different areas too. Like for me, my intuition is like the back of my spine and the top of my head. There's like a ping that happens and I can tell it's kind of coming from there. So start to notice when something like that happens and like someone asks you, oh, do you know my age? And I know we can kind of guess, maybe that's not the best example, but or a number comes through. I'll give you guys the same example. I think I might have mentioned this one in Egypt. I was on a plane and they decided to play a game, which I've never played a game on a plane before, which was kind of fun. And they said at 3:32 p.m., how many, it was either feet or meters or inches, I don't even know. They're like, how many were we in the sky at this exact time? And everyone had a piece of paper and a pen. We wrote a number down. My pinged number happened before they even finished telling us the game. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna write this number down. I could be off by so much that it's actually kind of dumb, like a dumbass answer. Like that's how much I had no idea. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do it and I'm gonna put it down. I looked at my girlfriend, I said, I'm gonna win. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, no, I'm gonna win this. I knew it. Like, I don't know why I freaking knew it. And then my friend was sitting in the front of the plane. I was like, hey, Matt. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna win. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, watch, right? And they're like, oh, this girl, look, who does she think she is? And it had nothing to do with ego. It was just this feeling. It was so strong. I knew I was in it. And of course, they get on the microphone and they're like, seat number 11A. And I'm like, ping, like, you know, and it's just like, it was that validation. Sometimes we're like, why did this number come in? That's nuts. Like, that makes no sense. That was not educated at all. It's not like I knew how to do the math and try to guess, right? So that would be a really good example of like, okay, and where did I feel like, did I hear it? Did I taste it? Like, how did the numbers come through? Was it a visual in the front of my head? Was it image I could see inside my head? Like, how do these pings come to you? And this will be different for all of us. We all have different pings. And psychics are people who really get to learn how to understand their pings and trust them and believe them and then share them, which takes balls, right? It takes like trust and bravery to share things that you can't see or it's not tangible. It's a feeling and a thought. And then someone else to go, how did you know? And you're like, I don't know. I mean, I knew, but I don't know, right? So yeah, my heart and my intention for this space is just, yes, it's cool to tap into our psychic capabilities, but really, how can we learn to trust our bodies, and how can that be helpful in our day-to-days moving forward when we start to really trust what's here? So what else do I got for you? Oh yeah, we have a breakout. Let's do a quick breakout, Katie. Let's do 3 ladies. If anyone is on here that can't go in a breakout room, don't click the join group, and then you can just wait until we come back. But we'll be putting you in groups of 3. And the question I have for you is, how does your intuition speak to you, and what gets in the way of hearing it? So and I'll write this in the chat for you guys too, or you won't see it in a second, but how does your intuition speak to you, and what gets in the way of hearing it?
I'll be able to see the chat, so we can put it in the chat.
Oh, perfect. You can? Beautiful. Thank you, Katie. How does your intuition speak to you, and what gets in the way of hearing it? I love it. I love when you guys come back all smiley. So, does anyone want to share what came through? What came through for you when you got to just talk it out and think about like what gets in the way, and when do you know you're in it?
Could I share? Because
Yeah,
my ladies, it was it was so divine. You want to talk about instinct, that I hit the don't allow because I was in the right room when you put me in. And I just want to finish what I was going to say, and it's probably better that the whole group hear it. my girlfriend Francesca, she's a PhD scientist. And, think of the amount of hours, days, homework, thinking that we've invested money, days in classrooms and universities, getting textbooks and regurgitating all of this rational information. We have invested our lives, the better part of our lives, since kindergarten right through whatever your level is through higher education. And what makes us think in one 45-minute session in one breakout room, we're going to become, we're going to have that muscle grow. It's going to grow. I mean, and it's growing right now as we're focusing on it, because that's how we work. But you have to spend time in that room too, So that's it. We're catching up.
I love it, Jean. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, so good. Anyone else want to jump on real quick? Well, how is it even just being in a space and getting to do this kind of conversation? It's not like this is one of those conversations you can just walk around on the street and be like, hey, you. I mean, maybe some of us do. I mean, I do. But having the space to like talk about it. Yeah, Sarah.
So I was paired up with Pam, and it was just the two of us. And I would say that being intuitive is probably one of my weaknesses. I'm not necessarily very strong at it. And she said, well, do you want to do an exercise right now? And I was like, lay it on me. And so she had me close my eyes and she just said, what does the divine say to you? And the first word that popped into my head was strong. And so that just feels like maybe I don't give myself enough credit, or maybe I'm not opening my eyes enough to see or trust my own intuition. And it just was very special to kind of have that experience.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Sarah. Pam, thanks for doing that. Look, how special is this, right? So we get divinely put together too sometimes to just allow ourselves to see ourselves. This is what it is. We're all medicine. We're all mirror reflectors. It's so cool. And such a beautiful share, Sarah. You are intuitive. It's just, it's that trust piece of like, is this the divine speaking, or is this me just making something up with my mind? And I think a lot of us battle with that. And this is where we take it. We're not going to learn how to do it in one workshop. This is something that takes a lot of love and a lot of time. Like Jean would say, it takes time to be able to build trust with the body, especially when we don't feel safe. Safety, and I wasn't going to talk about that today, but I think I'm going to, because safety is a huge piece. I think in anything that we do, if we don't feel safe in our body, it's really, really hard to trust. So building safety is number one. And then when we start to feel safe, we go, okay, it's safe to believe. Okay, let me just see what's here. Oh, wow, is this information? Okay, wait, let me just share it. It's kind of scary to share it, but here it is. And then someone else goes, oh, either me too, or how did you know? Or maybe it doesn't resonate because maybe they're not open, right? So we're all open and closed at different times for different reasons, which I'm going to get into too in a minute here. Sarah, I know in the last SHECODE we talked about saboteurs, which I'm gonna it's always nice to have a refresher too on like what that is. So before I get into those, which is the self-doubt, so there's always a self-doubt that we have. It's like, was that or no, or can I or no? Self-doubt, that's birthed from saboteurs. Saboteurs are thought hijackers. It's when you're in your flow and then one thought comes through and literally hijacks your whole nervous system, and then suddenly your channel closes up, right? We're humans, so this is so normal. Okay, I don't want to name that. Don't be mad at them. Give them more love. They need hugs and like kisses, and just love those parts of us because it's so natural and normal. But what happens is the saboteurs will throw us off our baseline. And if we're going to do readings, or if we want to be in the intuitive space, we want to let go of all attachment. It's like a space that just feels like infinite amount of space, really. It's like attached to nothing, and it feels peaceful. When you're in your baseline, it doesn't feel exciting, it doesn't feel sad. The emotions are not present. It's just literally open spaciousness, and that's when we can really hear. Because this one, God love our thoughts, but man, do they take up a lot of space, right? So half the battle is literally giving room for thoughts to take a break which we need to feel safe in order to let our thoughts take a break. A lot of us really lean on our thoughts. This is why that safety piece, now I realize why that pings so hard. We have to feel safe to let the thoughts relax, know that it is safe to literally be in our body, right? So baseline, attached to nothing. And I'm going to do a meditation with you guys just to take us and see if we can get there. And don't judge if you can't. You know, sometimes we get there quickly, sometimes we can't get there, and that's fine. Again, sometimes we're near our cycles. We're women. We've got these cycles where literally 48 hours before we're like, ah! like can't think properly, hormones are going wild, like our bodies do all sorts of things, right? So grace that some days this is easier to practice and some days it's hard, and that's okay. So do y'all want to do a quick meditation together? We'll get into our baseline. Let's do a baseline meditation. Now I see why I didn't do the meditation earlier. I think this is a better timing. So let's go ahead and close those beautiful eyes of yours. I'm going to put this song on right here. There we are. Beautiful. And just allowing yourself to get cozy in your space. Can you guys hear me in the music okay? Beautiful, okay. So just taking a moment here to allow the entire body to just relax. If you're seated, maybe feeling the earth under your bum, and at the same time being pulled towards the sky, allowing your spine to straighten. And before feeling like you need to fix or change anything, can you just be with what is here in this moment? Starting by checking in with the physical sensations of the body. Noticing if there's any flutters. Maybe you feel warm. Maybe it's tightness. And just really giving yourself space and time to allow that to be here. And while bringing your awareness to that part of the body, just imagining this beautiful soft light melting and softening. And letting this part of you know that they are welcome, they are loved, and they are so held. And just feel what happens in the body when we allow that part to be here in the space. Let her know that she is doing just fine. She's perfect. And she is allowed. That she's safe. You've got her. And then allowing that part to just soften and melt. Beautiful. And then maybe just taking really soft breaths in through the nose. And soft breath out the mouth. Creating more spaciousness in the body with every new breath. Letting go of any attachments, any expectations, any regret on your exhale. Good. Let that go. And just focusing on one breath at a time. Gifting yourself pure presence in the space. And just noticing again, doing a body scan, seeing if there's any thoughts hanging out, and maybe just allowing space between each of the thoughts. Maybe they don't want to leave just yet, just creating more spaciousness. Good. And if it feels safe, maybe a bit more space. Good. And eventually allowing these beautiful thoughts to rise above the head, handing them to a cloud so gently, so softly.
And then feeling what it's like to have an infinite amount of space in the mind, filled with nothing. It's beautiful white light, peace. And then seeing if we can take that white light of infinite space and allow it to make its way down into our throat, allowing it to make its way down into our heart. And if you notice any tension still, maybe staying there, and then using your breath to soften it. Let that part know they are safe, they are held, they are loved. And making our way all the way down to our hips. Allowing that white space to reach all the way to our knees. And then all the way down to our feet. Beautiful. Maybe grounding our feet into the earth and feeling the pull above our head. And just sitting in what our baseline is. Attached to nothing, but knows everything. Beautiful. And in this space, you can go ahead, we'll open our eyes and come back in. Do we feel more landed? Yeah. And if you weren't able to get to the full baseline, don't judge it. That's the saboteur coming in saying, you're supposed to do it this way and you should have gotten there and why aren't you there yet? It's okay, right? But when we do tap into our intuition, we are in that space of peace, openness. And if we are going to do readings on each other, this is the space you want to be in. So we want to do an exercise like this before we would go ahead and want to try to read somebody else. I'm going to pick up my dog because she's whining and I think she wants to be a part of the party. So let me grab her. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about those thought hijackers. The ones that come in. We're in our peace right now. We don't want thought hijackers, right? The first one, the one that births all the others, is judgment. That's a tough one. It's really hard to not judge. We try, but it's kind of a natural feeling sometimes to assess something or not want to critique it. But what judgment does is it really robs us of our joy, and it robs us of being able to be in that intuitive space, right? So from the judge, there are 9 different saboteurs. I'm not going to go into details today. This is more of a just more general workshop that we'll do together. But I'm going to name them, and you let me know which one pings you, okay? If not all of them at some point in time. There's the controller, so wanting the need to control, right? The avoider, the hyperachiever. Got to do it right. I got to do it the best and right. I hope I'm doing it right, right? Hyper-rational, having to rationalize everything. It has to make sense. Intuition doesn't make sense, right? Me knowing those numbers on that plane made no sense. That was ridiculous. I don't even know. I'm still in awe that happened, right? Hyper-vigilant, the pleaser, the restless, the stickler, and the victim. Right? We all sometimes have these thought hijackers that come in and they play a really big role in our lives. And the thing is, a lot of them are subconscious. So we're doing it without even knowing we're doing it, right? So we go and have a conversation with someone and, you know, you have this desire. Okay, let me think of a personal example that's happened recently. Oh, something happened recently and I shared it and it was so annoying. I forget what it was, but I wanted an outcome so bad. I was squeezing it. I was like, can I really want this? And because I was doing that, it it was bleeding into all the conversations that I had. So even when I was trying to share myself, people could feel the grasp at needing something, right? Or even, let's use this, like going on a date. Let's just say we're like super, oh man, I'm blushing now thinking of dates because I'm actually not good at those. I'm like, let's not use that example. But I'm gonna pivot from here. But so these are thought hijackers that come in and they basically take us out of our baseline. That is the point. And when we're not in our baseline, it's hard to read not only someone else but ourselves, right? So I'm gonna show you guys a clip here. So as I mentioned earlier, everyone has different signals, right? Different sensations. For me, clairgustant. So I'm gonna show you all a video. Here we go.
Have you ever wondered about your psychic abilities? Do you feel like there's more to the world than what meets the eye? Welcome to a journey through the 8 clair senses, the gateways to heightened awareness and psychic perception. First on our list is clairvoyance, the ability to see beyond the physical realm. It's like having a third eye that can perceive energies, auras, and even spirit entities. Remember those times when you've seen flashes of light or shadows at the corner of your eye? You might just be clairvoyant. Moving on, we have clairaudience. This psychic ability allows you to hear voices, sounds, or music that others can't. It's not about physical hearing. It's about tuning into the subtle vibrations of the universe. Imagine hearing a whisper in the wind, a message meant only for you. Next up is claircognizance. This is the ability to just know things without any logical explanation. You might call it intuition, but it's more than that. It's like having a direct line to the universe's database, receiving information at the speed of thought. Then we have clairsentience, the ability to feel emotions, energies, or physical sensations that are not your own. It's like being an emotional sponge, absorbing everything around you. Ever walked into a room and instantly felt the mood? That's clairsentience at work. Fifth on our list is clairgustance, the ability to taste without physical contact. Imagine tasting a piece of chocolate that's miles away, or experiencing the flavor of a dish before it's cooked. It's a rare ability, but one that offers a unique perspective of the world. Next is clairsalience, the ability to smell beyond the physical senses. It's like having a supercharged nose that can pick up scents from the past, the future, or even the spirit world. Ever smelled a perfume that isn't there? You might have clairsalience. Following that, we have clairtangency, also known as psychometry. This is the ability to receive information about a person, place, or event by touching an object associated with it. Imagine holding a vintage watch and seeing flashes of its history, its journey through time. Lastly, there's clairempathy, the ability to directly feel another person's emotional state. It's like being in their shoes, experiencing their joy, their pain, their hopes and fears. To summarize, these 8 clair senses are the different ways we can perceive beyond our physical senses. Clairvoyance is seeing, clairaudience is hearing, claircognizance is knowing, clairsentience is feeling, clairgustance is tasting, clairsalience is smelling, clairtangency is touching, and clairempathy is empathizing. These abilities can be dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. They might already be active, subtly influencing your daily life. So, do you identify with any of these clairsenses? Perhaps the next time you experience a sudden insight, a vivid dream, or an unexplained feeling, you'll see it as a whisper from the universe, a sign of your innate psychic ability. The world is full of mysteries waiting for us to uncover them. With the clairsenses as our guides, who knows what we might discover next?
We had one person significantly change their telomere length within 4 days. And that is a quantum.
There we go. All right, y'all. Put in the chat, is there any that resonated for you? If not all of them, at some point in time. Which one like really stands out for you? Is there any other clairgustants like me? And I love food too. Oh wow, I have to move this chat down. You guys have been, yeah, pleaser. Yeah. Which one stood out for you? Claircognizance, audient, yeah, all of them, but clairgustance, the least. Oh really, Tracy, interesting. Audience, salience, the gustance, claircog, cool. So, you know what's interesting? Clairempathy. Yeah, Katie, I could see that for you for sure. Clairaudience, clairknowing, clairempathy. children are so connected to the void and to spirit. As soon as they come onto this earth, they are psychic. They are so open. And then as we get older, we start to have certain behaviors, or we have attachments, and we muddy the field, right? We muddy it with bad foods or bad water, or being in environments that aren't supportive, or being with people who are toxic, or watching television that's putting a whole bunch of information in our minds, or listening to music that's like vibrating at a certain frequency. Like, all of those things matter. So if there's something to take from here, is maybe making a list of like, what in my life right now is supporting my most intuitive self, and what could I declutter? Like, what could I remove from that list, right? So that's something I wanted to name as well, is children. And then, yeah, children are beautiful too. They're just so super connected. Energetic hygiene, I wanted to get into real quick too. What could that look like for you? Energetic hygiene. Why is it important? Energetic hygiene. Energetic hygiene. Protection. Yes, Heather. Yeah. Removing any energies that have been attached to you because it's not, whoops, I was going fast, because it's not your stuff. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Knowing when it's not yours. Important. No gossip. Yes, Jean. You know, it's interesting. I look at all the girlfriends that are really, really close to me now. They do not gossip. They're not talking about other people. They're talking about ideas and creativity. And I'm like, here for it. Like, that to me gets me so turned on and so excited. I don't have the time to sit there and gossip. It's just, it's not the field that I've created for myself now. And as you know, when I was younger, I certainly had to learn. But yeah, the people that you surround yourself with is so, so important. No complaining, changing our diets. Yeah, alkaline, really good. Yes, yes. Water's huge. Think about how much water, our bodies are made up mostly of water, and how much water we need to drink. If you're drinking bad water, that is affecting your intuition. That's affecting your field, period. So water is like even more important, I would say, than food. Okay. Boundaries with people who drain energy. Yeah, boundaries is a really, really big one. And the interesting thing about boundaries too is it's easy to set boundaries, but it's hard to keep your boundary, right? Like, we have to, if we're going to set a boundary for someone else to respect or to know what it is, we need to know what our boundary is so we can set it. And we also have to honor it too, and actually stick to what the boundary is. Otherwise, people don't know how to navigate the boundary that's set. And in terms of psychic mediumship and psychic readings, boundaries are very important too if you are going to be connecting with spirits, you know, and then the boundary with you and the client as well. Like, something I want to name too is when you're doing a reading for someone, you are there to be a clear channel. You're not there to cry with your client. You're not there to make it about you. You are there to hold space for them so they can connect. And you are honoring the job to connect and provide them with information that has nothing to do with you. And if you're in your baseline, that's what you're going to feel. It'll be a clear information, right? If someone did a psychic mediumship reading on me and started talking about my grandma and then started crying, I would be like, I would start to feel like I needed to help her. I'd be like, are you okay? You know? Oh, those of you who are buddies or Robert Edward Grant fans, he's trying to call right now. I've been waiting for him to call me for like 5 days. He's gonna have to wait. Hold on. Let me just take this off. Let me put this, I thought I had this on. There we go. Do not disturb. There we go. Okay. Where were we? Katie, ping me in. What was I just saying?
Boundaries.
Yeah, so good. So, I was saying, if someone did a psychic reading on me and they started crying, or a mediumship reading, I would feel like I would need to lean in and help them. And that's not, like, our job as mediums is to just provide information. So I'll talk about mediumship too for a second. Actually, yeah, I'm going to talk about mediumship too for a second, and then I'll come back to energetic hygiene. What is different between a psychic reading and a mediumship reading? Some people sign up and they think they're getting a psychic reading, but they signed up for a mediumship reading, and then they're like, wait, what? What's the difference? Do we know? I have a feeling Heather knows. Tell Reg his harmonic feminine got boundaried. Yeah, I just had to boundary that right now. We're workshopping, okay? Yeah, mediumship, people that have passed. Exactly, Rue. That's it. So mediumship, when you're doing a psychic reading, you are, and I think it was Heather who gave a really good definition of that up here, but my chat's full right now, I can't find it. But when you're doing a psychic reading, you're just reading present time energy. You're reading someone's field, right? Whereas when you're doing a mediumship reading, you're specifically connecting to spirits that have passed. And so generally when I do psychic mediumship readings, I need the full name, I do my reading, I do my whole thing, and then I get into the room with them or online with them, and then I just present them what came through. And when I'm presenting it, it's hard. This is why getting to know yourself takes time. When I first started my certification in mediumship, I didn't understand what certain visuals were coming through, what they meant, and I got to learn what they were over time, but it took me practicing with people to understand, oh wow, okay, so grandfather clock, every time I see this clock, or if my grandfather shows up, I know I'm speaking to a grandfather-like spirit, whether it's first generation, second generation, right? And here's, you know what, I'm gonna talk about validation right now. Validation is not why we do it. So I wanna emphasize that. We're not doing these readings to get validation that, you know, for ourselves. However, in the beginning, it's important because it's that journey of building trust with yourself, and we need the validation that what we're thinking, feeling, and seeing is true. And someone else can say, oh wow, how did you know? I'm gonna give you guys one story that like blew my freaking mind, and I couldn't believe that I was able to do this. It's scientifically not probable, okay? So I did a psychic medium, and this is when I was just practicing, just learning. And I remember getting on so I spoke to 3 spirits. I jumped on the call. I was panicking because I got their names. I knew all 3 names. And I'm like, oh man, if I throw down 3 names and I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel so dumb. Like this is not good, you know? And so my saboteurs were coming in going, you're gonna do it wrong and all of this. But my mentor told me, you have to honor the spirit. If the spirit is trying to connect, it's not your job to sift through what you feel like or not or saying. You just provide information. So you have to be in your baseline. So I presented it. I gave them 3 names. It was Leroy, Marvin, and what's the third name? I for some reason I can never remember the third name. I said them, and I remember when I said them, I was like, literally like, oh God, it was her brother, her father, and her cousin. It was her brother, her father, and her cousin. That was a big moment for me because not only is it fascinating, like holy shit, wow, but it was a trust thing. Like, wow, I leaned into trusting myself that I was actually picking something up and leaning and believing it and leaning and leaning and leaning and leaning and leaning and continuing to trust. That's not easy to do. And then to get that validation was really helpful for the rest of my journey. Like that moment mattered for me. So in the second half of today's session together, when we do readings on each other, which we're going to do, and it's going to be beautiful, and don't panic, don't let your saboteur, don't let your thought hijackers come in here right now, okay? And forgive yourself. Like we're just going to practice. We're just going to practice together. Back to energetic hygiene. What are some other beautiful practices that we can walk away with today? Maybe y'all do something that I don't even do. Like what is, maybe throwing in the chat some stuff that you like to do. So Those of you that know me well, I love rose petal baths with salt. I take them almost every evening. I was talking to Katie the other day and she's like, do you do it every night? I'm like, yeah. She's like, how do you have the time? I'm like, well, you have time to take a shower, don't you? It's the same amount of time. I just start the water while I'm doing something and then I plop in for 5 minutes. And when I take these baths, not only am I putting in the salts, I grab one of these. I'm going to do it right after this call too. I'll grab a beautiful rose that I handpicked for myself for the week. This is my self-love. I don't want anyone to buy it for me. I want to buy it for myself, right? Every week. And oh gosh, they smell so good. And I'll take petals off and I'll put an intention for each petal and I put them into my bath. And then I soak in the intentions of each petal, right? Like that's just a beautiful practice. Why not? That feels so good and so yummy and so divine and so feminine, right? I'm going to check the chat here. Water, shower. Yeah, shower is always beautiful. It could be a warm bath or a cold shower. That's good too. I know we don't love it, ladies. Like, it can be rough, but you never regret it. Like, after that 3 minutes of just sitting and freezing, you get out and you're just like ready for your day. It's like a beautiful cup of coffee without any caffeine. Let's see. Yeah, regulate yourself throughout the day so you don't feel depleted, ensuring you get sunshine. Sunshine, yes, Regina. Sunshine is huge, huge. Self-love rituals, yeah. Crystals, grounding, beautiful. What else do you have in here? Northern lights, yeah. Thunderstorms, tea. Oh, Katie, I love it. Katie is a tea sommelier. Is that how I say it properly? Sommelier. And we realized that she has tea in her name. Like, she was meant for that. And it's so beautiful the way she holds space and doing her tea ceremonies, but they're super grounding and such a beautiful energetic hygiene. I also have decluttering space. That's something you could do. Maybe you go through each room and you're like, what feels like it needs to be here and like what's just gotta go. And generally starting with our wardrobe, ladies, is the best place to go because we're holding on to items and pieces that have energy that's gotta go. Like, that is in the past. Like, we're gonna make 2 piles. Now pile, past pile, and then donate it, right? That's a beautiful place to start. Cord cutting, and then, yeah, rewiring the toxic thoughts, things that don't feel supportive. I think these are all really beautiful. Listening to music, yeah, Mom. Oh, music for me. Again, with the auditory, music just like pulls me right into my body and it feels super yummy. It pulls me right into my senses. So let's see what else I have here that I want to talk about. Okay, we talked about validation, but I want to talk about consent. Consent is very important, always. And there's different types of consents to consider. There's physical consent, and there's energetic consent. There's spiritual consent, there's many. So when we go to do these readings with each other, there will be a component where we ask. So we'll tap in, so you guys are gonna sit, and you're gonna, let me just grab my dog for a second, hold on. Petrie. Quiet little lady. Quiet little lady. Okay. So we're gonna get into consent. The first thing we're gonna do is check in with each other. We're gonna do a little meditation. And then when you guys are going into each other's fields, you're gonna ask, do I have permission to tap into your energy or your field, however you wanna ask it. And the person getting read is gonna say yes. And if it's not a yes, don't say yes. Because sometimes we say yes, but our energy is saying no, right? And if you need spaciousness and time because you're still getting into your body and you're still needing that space, the relaxation to get into our baselines together and co-regulate, right? Then take the time that you need, okay? If you hear a no energetically and you can't read, wait and ask again. I'm gonna ask again. Do I have permission to tap into your energy? Yes, okay, great. And then what y'all are gonna do is just listen. Without talking, you're gonna listen and you're gonna sit, and person A is gonna read person B. You guys can choose who that's gonna be. You can decide when you go in your room, in the breakout room, and you're just going to listen. And you're just going to allow and notice. Some of you, it might be a sound. Some of you, it might be a taste. Some of you, it might just be a visual. You might see, a forest and these leaves, and it may make no sense to you. It should make no sense to you, but it will make sense to the person that you're reading for. And then when you're complete, you'll let them know what came through, and then person B who got read can reflect back what it might mean for them. Okay? And then we're gonna switch. But before we do that, we're gonna take a quick break. Does that sound good? So we can do a little pee and then come back. What time is it right now? Oh yeah, 7:45. Oh yeah, definitely. Let's take a little break. So that's gonna be the 5 steps. I'll rename them when we come back from the break, okay? So let's come back at 7:50. So whatever time that is for you, 5 minutes from now. All right, so we're gonna tap into our readings now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you through a theta meditation first, so that we are in our baseline, and then we're gonna put you guys in breakout groups. When we get in the breakout group, there's 5 steps, okay? The first is taking a moment to tap into the energy and ask permission, okay? Then you're gonna do the reading. So some of us like to talk while doing it. I like to do the reading, hold everything, just keep receiving, keep receiving, keep receiving. And then once you're complete, just taking your hand and kind of like a zipper, just pulling it down, that you're complete. That's a boundary. Closing up the reading, and then share what came through. So I'm gonna say it again. So 1 is just doing a small, you guys can do some breaths together if you want, just like just getting into each other's energy is number 1. So just, maybe it's just like a sacred silence for a moment and just like feeling into the energy, okay? Number 2 is ask permission. If this makes you feel comfortable, you guys can write it down too if you want to have it close by, just to kind of remember. But no pressure. If you don't do it right, it's okay. All right? So permission. 3 is the reading. So then you're just picking up. Give yourself a few minutes. I would say let's let the readings, once the permission is asked, I ask that person who's being read, look at the time and let it be about 2 minutes to be read. That way you can let your partner know when let's do 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So keep reading for 3 minutes. Pull the zipper down so you're completing your reading, and then share what came through. 2 shakes if anyone wants me to say it one more time. That would be me. I'm that person.
I put it in the chat.
Oh, you put it in the chat. Oh, thank you, Katie. Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Thank you. So, does anyone have any questions before we go into some breakout groups? And if anyone in here does not want to do the reading, when we ask you to join a group, just stay here, okay? And then we'll be back. How long did we say, Katie? About 15 minutes by 15. The time we do both sides? Yeah, and you'll be with one other woman. Yeah, Natalie, of course. If you have practice with that and this is something you've done before, absolutely. Yeah. So again, yeah, the 5 steps. So let me take you guys through that beautiful meditation. I feel like there might be another question. Anybody else have any more questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
What are we reading? Is there a specific question?
No, you're just reading. Yeah, we're good. I'm glad you're asking because there might be someone else who has the same one. You are literally just listening.
Okay.
You're listening to the energy of the person in front of you and just allowing information to come through. I know that feels scary. I get it. I when I first joined my certs, I was like, I was scared to say something, but just let your mind, let not your mind, but let whatever information is coming through just be there and just sit with it. And then we're just going to share it. Okay? Also, I want to name this too when you go to get into the shares. Sometimes what we say might not land for the person right now, but then like a month from now, they're like, oh my God, I get why that person said strawberries. I did one on Katie earlier. I'm like, I'm seeing strawberries and like this polka dot dress. She's like, I don't have any polka dot dresses. I'm like, okay. I'm like, when it comes to you, let me know why. So it didn't come to her immediately, but so just know that, so give yourself grace if like you're not nailing it on the mark. That's not what we're doing. We're just really trusting and learning to just like sit with what's here and deeply listen to each other.
Michelle, I just want to say, I'll tell you this after,
Okay.
but it makes sense now.
Oh, can you tell us? Wait, tell us.
Yeah. So Michelle saw this like girl with red hair and it was like a specific age and she said she's wearing like a poofy dress with like polka dots and there was something about strawberries. And I interned at this like vintage secondhand clothing shop called Polka Dots and Moonbeams. And they like specialized in like big tulle, like tutu kind of skirts, like what are they called? Like petticoats. Yeah, so I'll explore that. But now it's all coming together.
Yeah. See, okay. Thank you for sharing that, Katie. I think that's super, like, one, validating, right? To hear, oh, wow, maybe I wasn't wrong. And sometimes if you're not getting the validation in the moment, it might just be sometimes it takes someone a moment to connect what you're putting through. The other thing I want to say too is trying to create a language for things that aren't necessarily sound coming out of our mouths, you know, like we're trying to tap into textures and senses and then explain it. It's not easy to do, and the more we do it, the easier it starts to get to explain what it is. So give yourself grace too as you're trying to explain it, but just notice, wow, I really connect to seeing something, like I'm seeing it visually, or I'm just feeling the person. Maybe it's you're at the end, you're sharing like, I just felt sadness, or there was like a knot in my belly. The first reading I ever did was with my mentor, and I remember I had this really horrible feeling in my stomach, and I was like, oh, she asked me what came through. I'm like, oh, sorry, nothing came through. I just I kind of don't feel the best right now. I have this thing in my stomach. She goes, okay, well, my mom died of stomach cancer. I was like, oh. So sometimes it's hard to differentiate like what's mine and what's not, right? So you start to learn how to do it. But we're not doing psychic mediumship today. I want to be very clear. We're doing just readings, auric readings of each other, frequency readings of what's here, okay? So let's do the thing. Hopefully Petrie doesn't whine while I'm doing the meditation. So let's go ahead and close our eyes, and we're going to get into a beautiful, tranquil meditation here. So let me start this. There we go. Here we are. Yeah. So we'll be here for about 10 minutes. So giving yourself the space and the time here to just sit in pure stillness. And starting by tapping into the center of your heart and just feeling this beautiful beat, this internal rhythm that you carry, the love that you have right in the center of your chest. And then we're going to start to make our way down from the heart all the way down to our root, and making our way into the earth, to the soil, into the roots, passing our way all the way down, until we feel our energy touching the core of the earth beneath us. And for a moment, just noticing and witnessing how magnificent, how strong this core is. Just watching in awe, feeling the energy, and then pulling that back up, making its way up the roots, through the soil, back into the bottoms of your feet. And feeling the energy rising up into your knees, into your hips, pulling yourself up the spine, feeling yourself rise, and rising above the head, lifting up, up and up. And maybe for a moment as we lift up, looking down and just seeing yourself in the space that you're in. Maybe noticing the color of your aura, maybe feeling into what do you feel like when you look at yourself from above. And after acknowledging, just starting to rise even higher, we're going to make our way all the way towards this clouds, and just feeling this effortless flow, just rising and rising, and then lifting above the clouds, making our way into this beautiful dark matter with stars shining bright, seeing the moon, the sun. Within this dark matter, just noticing a beautiful golden light, sparkly, shiny, like little golden flakes, and starting to move towards this golden light. It's getting bigger and bigger as you rise. And then allowing these beautiful golden flakes to just surround you, and just noticing each flake in awe, how magical, how beautiful they are. And as we continue to rise, we enter into a jelly-like substance attached to the laws of the universe, and just noticing all of the colors of the rainbow as we rise through this thicker jelly-like substance. Wow. Making our way even higher, we start to land into this soft, gentle cloud, the pink cloud of compassion. And in this soft, peaceful, gentle space, feeling our heart expand, allowing ease, surrender, compassion. And as we lift even higher, we start to see a white, iridescent light. This beautiful light starts to encapsulate our entire body, starting with the head, making its way down to the throat, down to our heart, to our shoulders, our bellies, our hips, our feet. And suddenly, there is no space, no time. You are infinity. You are forever. You are everything all at once. It's beautiful white light. And in this space, we ask that our bodies feel safe to trust. We ask that our bodies listen to the whispers. We ask our bodies to lean in and surrender to our gifts. Feeling unlimited amount of space and time. Being surrounded by a pure white light. And then gently, in this space of peace and serenity, slowly So in this space of peace and serenity, I'm going to put you guys in the room. You can say hello to each other. The 5 steps is to sit with each other for a moment. Person 1 is going to ask for permission. Person 2 says, okay, yes, out loud. And then person 1's doing a reading. Person 2 will take care of the time for 2 minutes, or let's do 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Let them know when it's complete, or when they're complete their reading, if it's earlier. And then close it, share. And then we're gonna switch. I won't be there to let you guys know when that happens, so you guys will have to curate that yourselves. So 3 minutes of reading, share, you can talk about it, and then switch. We'll put you in a group for 15 minutes. So as long as by about the 7-minute mark, we're switching to the other person, we're doing really good for time. Cool? All right, I'm excited to hear all about what goes down here. Trust yourselves, don't let the saboteurs in. We'll start to put you in groups of 2. If you don't want to do the reading, stay here when we try to put you in a group, and then we'll navigate to make sure we get you with somebody. Look at all these smiles right now. Okay, so fun. I'm so excited to hear what came through. Let's open up the floor. Yeah, Nurse Tracy. Yeah, I love Nurse Tracy.
Thank you, Spirit.
Yes. So, ladies, what did we get? Yeah, Natalie. Let's hear
I didn't
it.
know. Yeah, I didn't know if Francesca was going to raise her hand or not, but Francesca was my partner. And I heard her spirit guides tell me that she never gives up, to tell her never give up. And she points her camera at the wall and she has a little banner that says never give up. And she said that's what she's known for. Yeah, or you can tell it for Francesca if you want.
Yeah. No, this is in a nutshell what happened. So, and was along the conversation that she was feeling, and she's like, yeah, my spirit guide is telling me that you should never give up. And like, yeah, that's my thing. And it's not, she didn't see that, it's in front of me somewhere else on the wall. So, and it's a Buddhist thing. So yeah, kudo.
I love that. And Natalie, how does it make you feel? Like, again, we don't do it for validation, but it damn feels good when we're, just trying something new and just seeing what's possible.
I've had a lot of experience with it, but I heard it really loud. And so I was like, I just let the energy flow through me. It's not really me. It's just.
Exactly.
I'm just the catalyst. That's
Yes.
all we are, is catalysts
For me, it was funny. I never done this before, and I have a taste in my mouth. And she confirmed what could have been, because I could not identify. So yeah, that was nice, as first time.
So you said you were tasting something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so clairgustant. And ladies, some might be prominent now, but you can work on all the different clairs. You can notice which ones are really, really strong and which ones are a little weaker, and then you just work on the ones that are weaker, right? So cool. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. Does anyone else want to pop on? Let us know about your experience. I saw big smiles. What do we get? Heather, I feel like you kind of want to say something. Am I wrong? I'm getting a ping. Oh, can you unmute? Let me see.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi.
No, it was kind of funny because I got Regina, and the first crack out of my thing is like, I live 2 hours away from Regina. So anyway, but the what I got out of this is I've had different abilities, and things have come through, and different things have happened throughout my entire life, right? So I'm not so crazy now that it's okay to talk about this kind of stuff. But when you're bringing up, the clairvoyance and all, I had no idea there was so many of the different clairs. And it's like a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this. And when there was somebody else that said, okay, when can we see the, ask for the higher guides and the masters? And literally behind Regina, I had a whole entourage come forward that it's like, okay, do I, don't. And I was getting all of that as she was reading me. So it wasn't the onesie, each other. It was at the same time. So thank you for that. But I think we need to give ourselves a little bit more credit because we're so used to judging ourselves and falling within that box to behave. And I think as we're coming out of this and we're doing this and we're learning to trust ourselves, that we need to give ourselves the credit where it is. Because we've all got it. It's just a matter of whether or not we choose to believe ourselves and give ourselves that credit, never mind what else is coming from around us. So thank you for this lovely gift. And thank you, ladies.
Amen to what you just said. You said it so beautifully, Heather. Like, this is it. It's more than just doing psychic readings. Like, this is actually the ability to fully trust ourselves, and that is a gift. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Heather. Thanks for jumping on. Yeah. What else did we get, ladies? Anyone nail anything or feel, even if you're sharing like, oh, I don't know if I could do it just yet. Did anything come through? Did a thought hijacker come in? Did one of the saboteurs come up? What's here?
Tracy read me. And it's funny because I know Tracy. Tracy knows me, and I know a lot about her. She knows a lot about me. But she said something that was just like, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting till she's done before I go crazy, right? She's like, I see a blue umbrella. And today I was cleaning out a rental unit and, working around, and the back of the closet, I found a blue beach umbrella. And she said beach umbrella too. She said a blue beach umbrella. I see, running on the beach, whatever. But I'm like, I just found a blue beach umbrella that was mine that I'd never used, when I rented out the unit, I just left it in the back of the closet. And then now I'm like, oh my God, I got a brand new beach umbrella. And then boom, there she was. I mean, I'm sending her a picture. I'll send you all a picture. It's at the unit. Otherwise, I'd show you right now. But it was pretty uncanny.
I love that so much, June.
Yeah.
Show us the picture in the chat. You can throw it in there if you want.
I have to. It's at the unit. I'm going to take a picture tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Tracy, if you want to jump on, how did it feel receiving the validation of the blue umbrella?
It felt really great because one thing I said to Jean is that I actually questioned the color because I wondered, am I just assigning it a color to assign it a color, or am I really feeling like that's the color? And I was like, no, don't, like, you got it, so go with it. And I continued to ask, like, what else, like, what does this have to do with X, Y, and Z that I was also getting? And so that for me, the color was actually the saboteur, but the color was the confirmation. So that was really awesome.
I love that you're naming this too, Trace, because if we are going to hold space like this and we've created an agreement, see, this only works if there's an agreement with both parties. That's why the consent's really important. But if we're in full agreement, it is our job to give the reading as is and not filter it in any way. Even imagine in mediumships too, right? Like you're in mediumship readings, which we didn't do today. It could be a really heavy information that you are passing through to somebody else. And so it's our job to literally provide what is coming through and just let the person who's being read take it or leave it in whatever way they need. But you could be holding back someone's healing by not giving everything that you received, right? Like the color blue was actually important today. And if you had left it out, then the reading might not have landed as deeply. And so that takes trust and bravery to go, just like the 3 names. I'm like, the chances of 1 name, 2 names, but 3 names, there's no fucking way, right? And so this is good. I'm glad you guys are getting this validation here. Trisha, you want to pop in? Where did she go? Oh, there you are. I think you have to unmute. Let me just ask to unmute here.
There we go. Hello.
Trisha, hi.
Hi.
Hi, hi.
This so this is came at perfect timing. Um I just lost my job after 32 years. So I had TK and she got that I had a big heart, but with sadness and lack of understanding and lack of support. So she got the sadness from losing the job, but I'm happy that now I am on my pathway for my spiritual gifts, because be careful what you pray for, you might get it, but you get it in a different way, because I knew that work was my comfort zone. But now I'm going back into massage therapy, which I had put away for a few years, because now I'm healed and now I can open up for other gifts. And this is the first time I've tried to read somebody. So it was the first time for both of us, actually. So it was, but we both did good.
I love that. Thank you for
So
sharing. And I'm excited to see what's going to unfold for you now. You know, when one
thank
door
you.
closes, one opens, and sometimes it comes in ways that we can't even imagine. And then when it does, you're like, "Oh, this makes sense." Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's cool too, you know, when we get to hold space for each other in this way, especially as women, we're used to talking things out, talk, but to actually be able to take a second, be in someone else's presence and not have to use words and actually lean into other forms of communication that are there, that's a really beautiful thing, right? We don't have to fill the space all the time. We can hold each other in a space. I
Yes.
think this is
Yes.
a really beautiful practice for that too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
you're
so
so
much.
welcome. Thank you, Trisha. Yeah. Pam. Hi, Pam. Let me unmute.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you?
So I am great. I partnered up with Rue and she read me first and was just spot on. She's like, "Oh, I'm getting a really green forest and it's peaceful and tranquil and stairs and light and blue." And it was like, I'm in the middle of the Manistee National Forest right now and it's tranquil and peaceful and I got a blue, on, and it was just like everything just hit. And then I read her, and I had never done this before, and her baby had been crying, but I just really felt an over sense of grief, and I'm like, well, I'm getting all this grief, and I'm like, she got a baby, that's joyful, not grief. But I shared some other things, and anyways, it was spot on for her. And so it was a fun experience. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank
That's
you.
so beautiful. Thank you for the share. Yeah, you know, I love that you named the grief and the joy, because even though, and I don't know what's current for you, Rue, but hold on, let me with my auditory, when Petrie makes noises, it's actually really hard for me to talk and listen to her whine at the same time. So if you guys see me do that, that's why. What did I want to say about this? It was
Joy and grief.
joy and grief. Thank you, Tracy. And it was about that. Hold on, there was something here. Oh, as women, we sometimes we make assumptions too. Not even as women, just as in general, we make assumptions like, oh, baby equals joy. But when we hear and actually listen to what's in front of us, just because we have joy equals baby doesn't mean that there can't be deep grief happening. So when we remove what we think everything is supposed to be, right, and actually listen to what's happening, we're able to lean into each other and hold each other so much deeper too. So I'm glad that you named that. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you. Rue, did you feel like chiming in? Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really great experience, and Pam was awesome. Her first reading, she said a bunch of things that just were really relevant. She saw a tent, and we've been talking about going camping with the little one. She saw an ocean, and we were just in Florida because my partner's mom passed away, so we had to go to Florida to store her stuff. And the grief was just spot on, since I've been working through stuff with my sister. And it was also really cool to read Pam as well and just seeing the visuals. I guess I'm more visual than knowing. And yeah, it's a really good practice. And I love the meditation that you had, that you started us off with. I feel like that really helped.
Oh, great. Yeah, the theta meditation. And Rue, did it, when she named the grief, did that, like, how did that make you feel when she said grief? Like, did you feel very like, what happened when she...
I thought of my sister right away. And it just made me get in my head like, oh yeah, I'm working through that stuff and it's still there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you see, y'all are magical. We all have it. It's right there. And I'm glad that there's a safe place for us to try it too and just see like what is here. Anyone else want to pop on? Can maybe take 1 or 2 more shares? Yeah, I can't. Jump in, girl.
Hi, so I had Sarah, and Sarah did a reading on me, and she was talking about this tropical beach and how it's so humid, and about chocolate cake, and it was really fun. And then, so all that was because, so the way I related it was beach with the tropical place, extremely humid. That's where I was born in Sri Lanka. And then, yeah, so she was like spot on with that. And then she was talking about like being in a joyful state somewhere, celebrating again by the beach. And then she saw chocolate cake, and I was laughing because I like beach is my ideal joyful place. So the beach was like perfect. And then the chocolate cake is like my partner's thing. It's his thing. So I was like, oh, yep, we're celebrating by the beach. So that was really cool. And so it was then, so Sarah was awesome with that. And when I read her, at first I was like, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. So I was like, okay, I'm in my head. So then I just like, so what I saw was, I don't know, Sarah, do you want to talk about that too? I just saw only 2 things, but they just ended up being spot on. So it was very cool. Yeah.
Oh, you're muted, Michelle.
Yeah.
Here we are. I was going to say the practice is amazing too because sometimes we need to notice what's getting in the way in order to make room for what is possible. So it's like that was a gift even there. Like, oh, I can't, what is this? Oh, okay, let me try again. And then validation. So
I think, Michelle, that's because of you, how you set the tone for it. So I was like not feeling like self-sabotaging. I was like, okay, let me just wait for a little bit. And so thanks to you. That was awesome. So yeah.
So
Thank
one thing
you.
that I would like to chime in, while you were doing my reading, there might be like this urgency in your brain, but to me, I was feeling very held. Like I was feeling very safe. I felt patient. And so, you know, if you ever do it again, just know that like you're not alone in that per se. Like you're still providing energy towards me as much as you're trying to pull from me.
Yeah, thank you. So that was very cool.
I love that. Beautiful. Thank you, Sarah. And then I think I saw a hand. Did it come back down? Was it Ruby? Did you want to chime in, Ruby? I'm happy to take one more share. I know we're going a bit over.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So I was partnered with Maria, and she and I think both had a nice experience. I read her first, which I don't know if she wants to share that part or not, but she read me, and she said that she felt like I came from a big family, which I do. My mom's one of 11, my dad's one of 8, and that she felt a lot of my ancestors around me, like that they're almost like anchored around me in a supportive way, like kind of like protecting me. And I was telling her that I've actually been on a healing journey and doing a lot of ancestral healing, so I always call on my heal and well ancestors to just hold me in some of those spaces. So it really resonated with me. And just wanted to share that. So don't know if Maria, you want to share?
Unmuted.
It was actually amazing. I was in tears within minutes. She was spot on the entire time. She was able, her name, first of all, her name is Ruby, and I don't believe in coincidences. And my mother gave me a ruby ring before she passed. It was there was two other sisters, and she didn't want them to be jealous, so she's like, "Don't tell. I'm giving this ring to you," and so it was our secret. And after she passed, my sister said, "I had a weird dream about mom. Mom was asking about the ring, and it was just an inside thing for me and my mother." And she was like, "I'm picking up on." Ruby red, and I didn't know. She was like, "Do you know what my name is?" I was like, "No." I didn't know. And she was like, "It's Ruby," and I'm like, "Whoa." And then she mentioned went right into yellow, which like of my nephew that passed, and it was sudden and it was tough, but my mom was very close to him, so it kind of made me feel like, oh wow, they're coming through together and they're using her as their channel. So it was just so beautiful, and it was very unexpected, quick, just instant, right to my heart. My soul. It was beautiful, so I appreciate you for that, Ruby.
Thank you. And then same with your share as well. And as soon as she shared and I got the validation that what I was feeling, my whole body just went into chills. Like it was like another confirmation. Like I felt it so strongly. So
Yeah,
it was a beautiful experience. Thank you, Maria.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah, and Ruby too. If you feel like, so now you know there's a signal. So what you just described would be a physical signal of, oh, something's coming through, and that can look different for all of you too. Like for me, I remember with my mom one time, I forgot what we were doing. I think it was like a breath work, or we were doing something together. And I started going like this. Like, who does that? If you have an itchy ear, you go like this. But I was doing like this whole thing. She saw it and she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I have an itchy ear." And she goes, "That's what Grandma did." I'm like, "No way, I was just thinking of Grandma in my breathwork journey," like literally the journey we just did. And so it's just like itchy ear was like a signal for me that, like, and also doing it the way she did it too is a whole nother level. But there are like little signals that we do. So now I catch myself. I actually do this quite often. I didn't realize I did that. And it's usually because something's pinging, or maybe my grandmother is around. So I start to notice different things. And so when you start to trust, you'll start to notice different parts of the body working for you. And then you can go, "Oh, I know this ping. I know you," and you know what to do with it, right? But it takes time. It takes practice. Like, some of you have done this before. Some of you have no idea. This is like totally new, and you're like, "Wait, what?" And maybe you're excited to do some more of it, right? And so just honoring whatever is here. You guys are beautiful. This is perfect. And this is a trust exercise more than anything. I feel like doing one last thing. I want to pick a number between 1 and 10 in my head, and I want you guys to write it down. Do you guys want to try that? Let's do it. It'll be fun. Okay. I'm going to think of it. I got it right away. Between 1 and 10. I'm going to write mine down. Let me get a pen so you guys can see that I wrote it. Intuitive instinct. You guys have it? We ready? Oh, wait. 9.
Oh.
You got it.
Ah, shoot.
Do we get any 9s in here? Nobody.
No 9s.
No 9s? Oh my goodness. Ladies, there's so many of us. Okay, let's try one more. Oh, I see it in the chat. Okay, let me check the chat. We're going to try one more time. Oh, wow, there was really no 9s. Interesting. Okay, ready? I don't have it yet. I have it now. Put it in the chat when you have it. You got 2, 3. Yeah, it was a 3. So who's in here had 3? Natalie, Maria, Canch, Heather. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, good job. Good work. And so, yeah, you guys can play little games like this too. I do this all the time with my friends. I'm like, ooh, let's play a guessing game. Guess what color I'm thinking of? Or like, guess what? And you're just tuning in, right? It's like, oh, why am I going this way? Did I think too hard there? Did I second guess myself? Why didn't I go with what I just knew? And you start to learn where in your body you feel your inner knowing and where in your body you're using, brain space to try to figure it out. Fun. All right, ladies. So before I close up, of course, I mentioned at the top I do have an offer. This is the last day for it. So hang tight with me for about, I'd say 5 minutes, and then we can all, some of us it's late, and go to bed and get cozy. So for SHECODE, SHECODE is a playground that we've had at the beginning of this year. It was epic, and some of the ladies are on this call right now too. And so we have, what is it, Katie? Today's 30% off SHECODE.
We have a discount code for 30% off, which is $466 off.
Beautiful.
And the discount code is Harmonic, all caps, 466. And I'll put it in the chat as well.
Okay, Harmonic 466. Okay, beautiful. And so for anyone who's looking to do this like consistently for 8 weeks, we jump on once a week together. It's a group coaching container where we dive into everything. Like today we did psychic stuff. We do things like inner child work and we go deep, and we'll go into different, I might even pivot it a little bit on this one because I like to bring in things that are very current and happening right now for me. So, but that you guys will, essentially what I want you to learn to do is consistently, show up for yourself, but also learn to keep trusting. It's one thing to do one workshop and you're like, okay, I got this. But it's another thing to have it on a consistent basis and actually be able to hang with other ladies and to practice it together. Like there's something magical about that, even when you guys are sharing with each other. Like it's so beautiful to share this kind of space. So that's coming up in July. And we also have a bunch of different things too with that. You have access to my meditation and breathwork library. And we have a new Voxer addition to it as well, which you get to have one-on-one time too to help integrate some of the things we're going through. And then Jean, it's on, I believe we're going to do Tuesday nights. So Tuesday evenings is what it's looking like it's going to be. And I have some ladies on here too that have signed up already. So celebrating you for saying yes and just tapping in and trusting and doing the thing. Sometimes we get pulled in a direction and we don't know why, but we just know it's a yes, and then we figure out why it was a yes later. So if you guys are feeling that, trust it. That's what I always say. I'm like, just trust it. Don't let the brain get in the way. Just follow the body. What is the body saying? And we get to do some beautiful grid work. Like this isn't just for us and finding safety in our bodies, but when we get to actually be able to live in trust, shit changes. Stuff changes, relationships change, the way we show up in the world changes, the way we do our work changes. It's so beautiful. So I would love to hold that container and have you ladies in there. And again, the discount code is good until tomorrow at 6 p.m. So if that's something you're like, ooh, I'm super interested, Michelle, you can click the link. Did you put it in there, Katie, that they can sign up?
I did, and it's 6 p.m. PST, so basically just 24 hours from the start of this call, wherever you are.
Perfect. And if you needed a call and you're like, I'm almost in and I just want to talk a little bit more about it, I'd be happy to get on a call and really go through some more details and really get to know what you're working on, what you need, and how I can be of support to you as well. So that's going to be available too. You can check that out. Katie and I will send you a follow-up email that will have more details on SHECODE, the discount code, and a discovery call that you can book into, and we can jump on together and chit chat. Otherwise, I also have 2 retreats that are happening. One is in Joshua Tree this summer. That's for plant medicine. So anyone who's interested in a deep plant medicine journey, I know I've held some of you on this call in that. That's coming up this summer, so you can book a discovery call for that. And then lastly, we have, hi Petrie. Lastly, we have Sedona, which is, so actually, let me just No, we'll send it in an email. I'll send it in an email after this. So Sedona is beautiful. We did it last year, and this year we're doing it again. And I have a few spaces left for that as well. So that's it. That's all on my end.
Breathwork?
Oh, breathwork. Breathwork as well. I am creating a certification for breathwork. I got a thumbs up. There we go. And I believe it's going to start probably around September. So if you're interested in becoming a breathwork facilitator, and I know we didn't do breathwork today, but if you check on my YouTube, you can find some of the free offerings that I have. You can try the breathwork out. And if that's something you're feeling called to, send us an email and we'll put you on that list when that goes out. Petrie, can you guys hear her going on this call? Or is it just me? You guys can't hear it? Okay, good. She's like cackling over here. And then that's it, ladies. Thank you for joining. Something in your spirit said I need to be on this call tonight, so we did the thing. And don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to stay in touch. And I hope to be holding you in this container. That would be so, so, so fun. And I think we would have an absolute blast. You guys are such medicine. And yeah, I'll see you all very soon. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening, y'all.
Michelle, did you want to close out on a little prayer?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Katie. I told Katie this because there's so many things I have to think about with these workshops. I forget. And these don't, I like kind of follow it, but then I don't go in order. So then yeah, let's do it. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and take a nice seat here and just close our eyes. And just take a moment to come back to the heart. And just really, truly, deeply feel this beautiful heart in the space here. And taking the love you have in your heart and shining it onto every beautiful woman on this call and to every beautiful woman that will watch it on the replay so they can feel your heart too. Feeling the power of being in this beautiful container of women who are trusting, who are leaning, who are surrendering to their gifts. And may you be free. May you live a life with freedom and integrity and joy. Aho. I'll end on an aho. All right, my loves. Thank you, thank you, thank you for spending this time with me. And I can't wait to spend some more time with y'all again soon. I'll see you later. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams, sweet dreams.